so sure. It's definitely an issue right here. But I'm more concerned with this right here. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Have you have you looked it over? Not so sure. Well, then why'd you ask me if you didn't want me to take a look at it? Definitely have a problem here. Definitely have a problem. I think I should introduce myself. My name is Dr. Andrew Michaels. I was asked to come here and see you today. I definitely think we have a problem, but it's not something we can't fix. I'm a doctor in astrobiology, and yes, I was involved with the Santa tracker this year. It's funny you knew that. Oh, that's good. Yes, we must track Santa to make sure that he has plenty of time to deliver all the presents. But that's not why I'm here with you today. I'm here today with you because it's been reported that you have a case of the holiday blues. Come on. You have to be honest. Do you have... now just wait a minute. Look me right in the eyes. Do you have a case of the holiday blues? I thought so. That's why I'm here. Now, we're going to take as much time as we need to get you over this. Okay? Now come in a little closer. And I have a whole series of brushes at my disposal to help ease and remove those holiday blues. Getting my brushes out right now. I have a lot of them. This one. We've got to definitely get in there. See, I'm concerned about right here. Let me try and brush that away. Gotta get in the nooks and crannies. Yeah, see, look at that. Look how much of the blues came out in that. I'm glad they brought you here. I really am glad you brought this wonderful person here. And you are a wonderful person. You really are. And you have no business walking around suffering from the blues like this. We've got to brush those blues away. And it's gonna take, it's gonna take what it takes. How's that? All right? It's gonna take what it takes. And I'm gonna stay right here with you. And we're gonna get rid of those blues. Yes, we are. We'll brush those blues right away. It's ridiculous. It's just totally ridiculous. You've got Santa, you've got the manger, the reason for the season, rebirth at the darkest time of the year, the winter solstice. It's a wonderful time of the year. Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, Christmas was somewhat, somewhat derived from a pagan holiday that followed the winter solstice. And you know the winter solstice is the darkest, shortest day of the year. And I have a better brush here. We definitely need to get all of those blues away. We're going to brush them all out. Every single one. The winter solstice, yes. Well, the days get shorter and darker and quieter and colder, and everybody's suffering. And at daylight savings time, it just totally messes me up. I don't know if you've ever suffered from seasonal affective disorder, I think it's called. Do you? Do you know what that is? For a person with the blues, this is one highly educated person you've brought today. But I've always wondered, I've always thought that people who tend to like Dr. Andrew Michaels are probably very intelligent people, highly sophisticated. Would you consider yourself a highly sophisticated person? I would. I think you're a wonderful person. And I'm not just saying that. I think we spend too much time tearing each other down. We should be building each other up. Just trying to get those blues out of those tight spots. It's working. I think we're getting somewhere. You certainly feel better, don't you? Well, I got lucky. You must know what I got my wife for Christmas. I'll tell everybody here, but you have to keep it a secret. You can't tell anyone. You can't tell her. You promise? Okay. I'm only going to tell you if you promise to keep it a secret. You can't go telling her. I know everybody wants to jump on that phone. This one might work a little better. It's a little smaller. Get in those spots. Well, she is a big fan of that, what do the young kids call it today, that rock and roll guy. And so she was a big fan of that, I think his name is Rick Springfield. And he's going to play with Richard Marx, an all-acoustic set. All acoustic. And I got her not front row, but about dead center, about 4 rows back. You don't, front row's kind of, it's good, but I don't know. I think I got some in your ear. Let me check. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want the other ear to feel left out. So, Richard Marx and Rick Springfield, all acoustic set, 4th row. I think she'll like it. And of course, I have to attend with her. I'm going to surprise her, though. She doesn't know. I have backstage pass access. Mm-hmm. I am Dr. Andrew Michaels, you know. Yeah. It'll go all right. We've seen Rick Springfield before, so she's a fan. One time in West Virginia. Now, I know a lot of people don't think of West Virginia as a beacon of cultural activities, but they have a casino there, and Rick Springfield's playing at the casino. And it was a really good set. He did a wonderful show, and he'd come out in the audience, running across the chairs. Of course, I'm very tall. I'm about 6'4", and I wave to him, and I stand out in the audience. And, I've got my camera in one hand, filming for my wife, and I'm waving. Well, when I'm waving, my arm must be 7 feet up, 8 feet in the air, because I'm very tall. It's like 2 feet. So I drew Rick to us, like, come on over here. He came running, used me as a balance, an anchor. And he's singing in the audience, right in front of me. And my wife is brushing those blues away. She's going crazy. She has both hands cupped on Rick Springfield's derriere. And I'm not making this up. My wife is squozing, not squeezing. She's a squozing. The great rock and roller Rick Springfield's arse cheeks right in front of me, and I'm filming it. I have it on film. Yeah, did a lot for my libido. I'm sure you know that. So, no, just joking. Trying to make you laugh. So I'm filming. This woman is standing behind me. The chairs are flying. There was folding chairs is what we sat on, and they are flying left and right. People are scrounging around trying to get over there to touch and get close to Rick Springfield, but I'm blocking the aisle. So I'm kind of like his anchor and literally a wall blocking these women from getting closer to Rick Springfield. And this woman's about 5'2" behind me, 5'2", is punching, kicking, hitting me in the back. And she is, pounding on my back. And, it's all I can do now. She's almost knocking me down. I'm like, oh God, he's got to go. Now this only takes like maybe 10 or 15 seconds. So he starts walking across the chairs away from us, and people are just screaming. And she's got her hands there, and she's walking like this. Like their hands on Rick Springfield's butt. And I couldn't stop laughing. Oh my God, it was the funniest thing. I was embarrassed and laughing at the same time. Women do have a double standard. They'll sit there and say, oh, look at that man. He's checking out that girl's, butt. He's checking out that girl's, breasts. He's checking out that girl's legs. He's smelling that woman's hair. They say all these things, but when Rick Springfield runs up to you in the audience, it's okay to, cup his ass and go, oh, Rick, whatever you want. Don't let him fool you, guys. Don't let him fool you. Definitely a double standard out there. Guy sees Madonna and goes, oh man, Madonna. She's getting older, but she still looks tasty. I wouldn't kick her out of bed. Women will look at you and go, like, huh. Just listen to him. But then, like one of these guys comes on there like, who's the hot guy? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt comes on TV, and he's, oh, Angelique, how could Angelique throw him out? I would never throw him out. He could do whatever he wanted. As long as he come home to me that night. I've heard it. Oh, it's not, I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about, I've heard it. I've heard it and heard it. It's, to me, it's funny. It's not, we shouldn't make fun. So we're going to go over here. I just think it's funny that we, in society, we just judge so much. We should just be having fun, and that's what the holidays are all about. Okay, I'm gonna get out that one. Let's see what we can do. I like this one. Keep brushing away those blues. And we're gonna just brush away those blues. Here we go. There we go. A little bit there. That's not the first time she's grabbed Rick Springfield, I'll tell you that. I'm a very generous husband. And the reason I'm talking about this is I thought it might be exciting, so close to Christmas, to give away a secret to all of you out there. That's right. Giving away a secret to all of you. And trust that you won't say anything. And I believe in you. I do. I believe in you. That's why you're here. Because you know Dr. Andrew Michaels would never let you down. And Dr. Andrew Michaels knows you will never let him down. And tell his wife that he got her matching. It's an aqua stone. Aqua stone, a precious stone. The stone's not that valuable. It's diamonds. And it's like a half moon shape-ish white gold necklace. 14 karat gold and matching earrings. You would never, never, never tell her that that's what I have for her under the tree. You wouldn't do that to me. I know you wouldn't do that. Because you're good people. Each and every one of you. You are. You're good. And it's tough during the holidays. It really is. I don't think people realize how tough it is for some people. Now, I don't get depressed at the holidays. You know why? Because as a doctor of astrophysics for the University of Chicago and all the things that I do, I'm so busy this time of year. The Department of Navy keeps me so busy. There's such a turnover of people, especially in an election year. Huge turnover in personnel that I find myself too busy to worry about things. So I don't get depressed. I don't have time for it. I do get sad, and I do get very lethargic, and I have a lot of trouble. I never thought I had seasonal, what do they call that? Seasonal affective disorder? Is that what they call it? But I think I might now, because sometimes I just can't move. I literally get up and I can't move. And it's not that I'm hungry. It's not that I'm drunk or hungover or anything. I'm literally frozen. I'm just, my body just feels like it's given up. I'm stiff as a board. I can't move. Right there. Now see, I've told you, that's the spot right there. Right up in there that we have to address. Right there. Okay. Well, I'm talking softly. I don't want to scare you. I'm going to touch it right there. Oh, see? I touched it. How's that feel? Okay. That's definitely a problem area. Definitely got to get to the bottom of this. Why you feel this way. I'm going to put a circle around it actually with a marker. or this pen might work. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put a circle with this pen around that spot of Holiday Blues right there. Okay? And if that spot gets any bigger, you come see me right away. All right? Good. Because I don't want it to get any worse. If that gets any worse, you tell me, because I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Just tap that into somewhere. And we're going to work our way up to that spot. I'm very excited. What am I doing? Okay, well, I work right up till Christmas. And that might be why I look so tired. I think I should tell everybody that I'm working too much, so that you all understand why sometimes I look a little, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also trying very hard to keep a good pace, put out some wonderful and entertaining work to make all of you very happy. And I'm very proud of everything that's happened this last month. I'm very proud, very, very proud to be associated with all of you. Each and every one of you. I think love is the wrong word, but I love being here with all of you. I love the energy that all of you share and give back to me. And you make me happy. You really do. And I'm fortunate to have such a wonderful, wonderful audience like you that come to me for help. And that's why I'm going to spend time helping you brush away the blues. Now, we're going to tell some more stories. Let's see, what's a good story I can tell? Okay, Christmas. What are my plans? I have very few plans. I don't plan a lot of things on Christmas. I don't visit a lot of people because I work too much. I really work a lot. And I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud that I firmly believe I give 100% to my family. That spot's starting to lighten up. I think we're getting somewhere. And I should have brought a lozenge down. So I might have to whisper more. Would that be okay? You mind if I whisper? I know somebody once told me I have a good voice for it. I do like to whisper, but I don't know if I'm any good at it. Once again, I don't make a lot of plans for Christmas because they get canceled all the time. They had a work Christmas party and I couldn't attend. So, and I really wanted to go to that. So I was a little disappointed, but that's just part of life. And you have to just chalk it up and take it. Like today we were going to go to the movies. We were going to go to the movies and go to dinner and see a kind of like a dinner show entertainment at the restaurant. They have a special act there on Thursday nights. And everybody come home sick. You can't go. You take the day off from work to be with your family, and you have plans because it's exciting. You're off. Everybody wants to see you, and everything gets scuttled. And you get upset, and you get angry, and you get down about it. It happens to all of us. Then you wake up. You wake yourself up. You go, hey, wake up. Shake those cobwebs out. The world's not about you. It's about everybody else. Working together to make something better out there for everyone. It's Christmas. Get your head out of your ass. Quit crying about it. Get your act together. Brush away those blues. Have a happy face. Draw a happy face on you. One eye, two eyes, and a big happy mouth. A big smiley face right there. How's that? Do you like that? A nice big smile. You deserve it because you're wonderful. You are a wonderful person. I really believe that. And I love spending time with you. And I'm so glad that you were brought here today. Let's get you in a little closer. So when I whisper, it sounds nicer, but we're going to get in close now. And, oh, my eyes. Yeah, that is my natural eye color. Mm-hmm. I know, I have such sexy eyes for an old bald guy. At least I have something I can share with you. I noticed that. I thought my eyes were the same shade as hers too. It's funny you brought that up. Is this a gag? Because you are so astute. You are so highly intelligent. You're so onto the game. I like that. Just kind of painting that smile on, helping you relax. There it is, just like that. Painting a smile on your face. Do you like that? I thought so. Let's change the angle. See how much more fun it is. It's okay. Yeah. I'm glad you like that. Would you like some more? Well, we were going to go see a new movie and go out to dinner, so that got canceled. And then Thursday and Friday, see, I get all my money around the 20th of the month. I get a large amount of money in. My other money pays the bills. Now, I was gonna, we did a lot of Christmas shopping, but I like to do some, we actually have a pretty exorbitant Christmas. Dr. Andrew Michaels is quite the crazy one at Christmas. He likes to make sure there's about an hour's worth of unwrapping. And that's one little girl by herself just going crazy. But we tie her up with a whole bunch of, we get like little cosmetics. Like stuff like this. Like this is an oil that I use. But we take this little things like this. And we wrap up. This is good advice because I'm an older dad. Get your, especially little girls or boys, you get the Matchbox cars and you wrap up. You get like 20 Matchbox cars that, hang on the shelf individually packaged. And you wrap them up, 20 of them up. And they have to open each one. And that keeps them busy and excited. And little girls, you get them little nail polishes and varnishes and lipstick and all that stuff, and you wrap them all up separate. And that keeps them busy. They have to unwrap all these little tiny makeups. And that keeps them busy for a long time. Yeah. I think I might have something new here. I like this. Helping paint away those blues. Brush away those blues with a happy smile. Isn't that nice? Whoa, we went all around Robin that time. Okay, so Thursday, we did a lot of mail order stuff. You know, we ordered the stuff that you could get that you have to get online, and we got all the packages in. So all that's about done. And let's see, we have no more packages. I have one thing I gotta mail. I gotta mail a big box to a very close friend. Oh, I hope it gets there in time. Who knows? And I've got a couple cards I want to send people, and then that's it. I'm pretty much done there. But right at the end of near Christmas like this, I want to get into the mood, and I go out and I blow a bunch of money that I don't need to spend, and I'll spend like I don't know how much money, but I'll go out and buy a whole bunch of silly games and toys and stuff for the house, and that stuff really is hard to hide. Santa wants to keep the mystery involved. So it takes up a big space in my room, my bedroom. So we tend to do all that shopping, like the mega shopping for the big items that are going to tie up area right before Christmas. So Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be pretty busy running around. And then on Saturday, that's Christmas Eve, I work that Friday night, and then I work Saturday night, Christmas Eve. But what I'm going to do is Saturday evening or afternoon, my brother, I have an older brother. He's a wonderful man. We both have kids, and all our kids are just about grown except for my little girl. And his kids are in college, and they're just geniuses. I have it's not probably a record or anything, but I'm gonna brag. I'm gonna brag. You can't stop me. I'm gonna brag just a little bit while I help brush away the blues. My son was the oldest of the grandkids, and he was a valedictorian. My son Max. And then my nephew Alex was the second oldest. No, he's third oldest. He was valedictorian of his school, and he went to a huge school. He went to Austintown Fitch, and that's a big school. And he graduated as valedictorian, and then his younger brother, Zach, graduated valedictorian. So we have 3 valedictorians, and then the other 2 were excellent A students. The other 2 grandkids, well, actually all 3, counting my daughter, all were excellent A students, and they've all done very well. My son, who wasn't a valedictorian, was, instead of top 10, he was like top 11 in his class. I believe it was real close to that with my niece on my brother's side, and my daughter's like that too. They're in the running. They're just not quite, there. And we're just so proud of these kids. They are just, they're amazing. And I sadly don't get to see them that often, but when they come around, they always love to see Uncle Mike. My nephew and nieces just love old Uncle Mike. Well, Dr. Andrew Michaels, but they know me as Mike. The nickname they gave me. We'll just leave it at that. And I have on the other side, I have 2 nieces that I adore. I adore them like they're my own daughter, and I take them with us on family trips when I can. I try to spoil them. My wife does too. We just love spoiling these girls. And their parents were both Marines. Their father still is in the military, and we are as proud as we can be of our military family members. And I try to do everything I can to help support the troops, support my brother and sister-in-law as much as I can. And it's not a chore, it's an honor to help them. And what I mean by helping is, if they need help with the kids or something, or when he was stationed, believe it or not, during a national emergency, he was actually by my house. This is a true story. My brother-in-law was by my house, and Christmas came, and he's just up the street from my house. I went and got him, and we had Christmas, and it was the only time we ever had guests. Well, we've had, now, I take that back. We've had the odd girlfriend as my boys got to be adults, but when my kids were little, we only had one Christmas where we had guests in our house. I always was very private. People could come over later, but at Christmas in the morning, opening presents, that was for me and my wife and my kids. That was me. I was all about. I took the time to do this, and this is about my family. Oh, that year we opened up our home completely, and my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law were there overnight with their kids, and we really made sure, kind of kept an eye on, bought extra presents and talked to them and worked it all out, because you don't want one kid to get 10 presents and another kid get 15, and it could turn into something. Our kids are all generally pretty good about that, but you have to be careful. You could screw up when you have multiple kids. This has happened where one kid got a lot of presents and the other one kind of, you didn't forget about them, but maybe you labeled them wrong, or they were toys for both of them and you didn't realize you labeled more for the other. So you have to tell them, well, that's for both of you. That's for both of you. Santa said that's for both of you. Like that, like we got them a Nintendo one year and we forgot to put both kids' name on it, and it's like, that's for both of you. Don't even start that's, but my kids were never like that. I remember getting them different things and they were always really good about it, played with each other's toys, and nothing was a big deal. So it was always wonderful. I really was really proud and very blessed with really good kids. And I really enjoy Christmas now because we're not spending as much. The boys are grown, so you get them a present or two or three. It's not like it was when I had three little ones. And oh my gosh, we were buying so much stuff and it was so expensive. And people used to laugh, but it's like sometimes for Christmas we hardly got them anything at all. And we took a family vacation instead. What happens is you have Christmas and every year you buy all these presents. And after 2 or 3 years of that, it starts to accumulate. And you start actually seeing stuff the kids never opened or played with laying around the house. And you start to say, well, that's no good. Well, it's not that the kids don't appreciate it or want it. It's just you literally are giving them so much stuff they can't get to it. There's no reason to even pursue that toy and play with it. So what do? Well, that's the year when you see that stuff going on. One thing you can do is you can donate those toys and get the kids involved so that they understand there's others that need things in life, and that's always good. And the other thing you can do is, that we've done, is you hardly buy them anything. You just get them some clothes, and then you also tell them, okay, after Christmas we're going to go get you some shoes, new bathing suits and everything, because we're going on a family trip. And we took them to Florida, to Disney World one Christmas. Well, I take that back. We did this twice now. We had to do it twice. And we really kind of, not this year, but we did it a couple years ago. Was it 2 years ago? With my daughter, and it worked really well. Well, let me explain. The first time we did it, we actually didn't go on our Christmas trip until January. The click of the clock January, we went down to Florida. We got a tremendous rate. And it was beautiful weather. We took my adult boys and my daughter. Well, Christmas was that was the 25th. And this was the only time this ever happened. My son, and I'm not telling you this to upset you, I'm telling you because this is part of life. He literally got like 2 presents. And he got a little choked up. He got a little confused. And I'm like, wait, I don't want to buy you a bunch of junk. We're going to Florida. When I get ready to go, we're going to go get you shoes. Not one pair of shoes. We're going to get you like a couple pairs of shoes and some clothes. You're going to have all new clothes when you go down there. He's like, okay. Well, he trusts me. When I took him shopping, we bought them. We had the car packed. We took a car and we drove to Florida because my daughter insisted we drive so we could bring back stuff and take toys with us. It was a good idea. We had fun. But boy, was it work. It was work. Packing that car. We were literally packed to the gills. Okay, we stopped and buy all these clothes and shoes and everything, and we literally had no room for this stuff. The car was packed. It was ridiculous, and we're like, my wife's like, we should go back and drop some of the stuff off. And I'm like, no. When we get to the room, and we can, it'll be okay. We drove straight through. It's about, well, we stopped overnight. Did we stop overnight that night? No, that night I drove all the way through. We drove straight through and we're in Florida. And we had a room. Yeah, we did get a hotel room the first night. But we drove all the way to Florida and then got the room. And then the next morning, we went to Disney and took our resort room and had fun. And we were there for 5 days or so. It was a short trip. But it was a Christmas trip, so hey, if you want it, get it. You want to get something to eat, get it. That year, you don't buy as many cookies, you don't make as many cakes. You have a small Christmas dinner and some candy and cookies, but you don't overdo it. You go to Florida on your family trip, that's when you say, hey, if you want a little extra, have a little extra. And the kids just loved it. So there was some, not hurt feelings, but a little confusion at Christmas because they'd never experienced not having a lot of presents. They thought, we were probably joking because sometimes parents do that, I'm not getting you anything this year. And then, and then you end up getting them a lot. So it was all pretty cool. And after the trip, they were really happy. They didn't like riding in the car with all the toys and stuffed animals. My daughter took all these stuffed animals with her. She had this Schnaufel bunny. When she was growing up, she fell in love with this little bunny, flop-haired bunny called Schnaufel Bunny from Germany. It was a ringtone, computer-generated singing rabbit that was created in Germany. You can still see Schnaufel Bunny, ringtones and cartoons and stuff. And he basically sang songs. And he was popular in Germany with really young kids, but not, older people. And my daughter begged me, take me to Epcot where there's a German world. I want to see the Schnaufel Bunny toys they have. And she had this huge Schnaufel Bunny that I had to buy. It was, I don't know, maybe 28 inches, 32 inches tall, flopping eared, huge toy. It cost almost, with packaging and everything, it cost over $100. I'm not bragging. It was just ridiculous. But it was like my daughter had to have this toy. We buy her this toy. It came in a huge box from Germany. It cost a fortune to ship. And she gets her Schnaufel Bunny picture. And I show the guys at work, and they're laughing their asses off. My daughter's in her. She's not a baby. She's maybe 7 years old, 8. Probably about 8, 7, maybe 7 years old. Maybe 8. And she's still in one of those car seats. And this bunny, she's squeezing on this stuffed animal bunny in the car seat, and it's as big as her. It's like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Oh God. And the guys at work were laughing. They loved it. They loved it, seeing that. It was just a wonderful moment. I hope I'm cheering you up with all this silliness. And so car stuffed to the gills with toys and stuffed animals, and everybody's sick of candy and cookies. You take your family on a trip at Christmas time to Disney, and by the time they come home, they don't want another cookie. They don't want any sweets. They don't want anything. They're so happy. They did it all. So we come back from that, and then the second time we did it, we went down. We took my niece at Christmas time, and we had, that was a funny trip because I got a little sick, and so did my niece. We both had a little bit of food poisoning in Disney. Not Disney, it was in downtown Disney. They call it Disney Springs. We went to this restaurant, got so sick. So we couldn't go to the Christmas party. And that was the only thing we couldn't do. But we went down there for like 7 days in the park. And this was before Christmas. Now, I suggest parents do not go to Disney World before Christmas. It is beautiful and it is so Christmassy, but you come home and you're not prepared. You are not prepared for the holiday. You're just not. There's not enough time, energy, and preparation under the sun. You think you're ready and everything's ready. You get back for 4 days, 5 days from Christmas. You're not ready. We were very prepared. We had months. We planned to go to Disney and go down at Florida in Christmas time. We had 6 months, wrapped everything, had everything ready, and we just were not prepared. It wasn't a bad Christmas, but see, what happens is you go to Disney, you go to Orlando, and you buy all this stuff. Now, we drove that time too, and you buy all this stuff for the holiday. and you hide it in the car. So you've got all these packages. None of that stuff is wrapped. None of that stuff is ready to go. And it's all wrapped and hidden. And you don't even realize what you have because you don't really keep track. You're too busy. You're on vacation. You get back and you have to immediately go to work. You got to get caught up on everything. And you've got all this stuff to do for the holiday. And you've got this huge pile of presents that you just bought in Florida that aren't wrapped. And you're not ready. And it's just a bear. My wife and I were we were overwhelmed. We just weren't ready. You come back, and like in my case, I had to go back to work. I think she was all right, but I did. So I'm not there to help. Yeah, it is stressful. Holidays can be stressful for everybody. I like that. Do you like that? I'm just trying different things. I know a lot of people like it this way. Come right in there like that. I like that. Do you like that? I know Florida. We have some friends in Florida, and they don't think it's a big deal, I think, as much as we do, because, we come from Ohio, and we just flip out down there. We love everything. You get to Florida, and there's lizards and snakes and alligators, and I'm not making fun of those people who lost their baby to an alligator, but good God, you're outside in Florida for 10 minutes, and you can see lizards and snakes running around. And some of these son of guns are pretty big, You catch on real quick. You're not in Kansas anymore. I'm just going to put it that way. I really am careful around any waterways with my kids. Well, of course, we went to Louisiana, and there was a bayou. The bayous are all over there. They're these big ditches that they have in the ground to keep the water levels down. And I immediately said, well, this dark, murky water, and okay, there could be, like, even up where I live, there could be big giant snappers down there, or snakes, moccasins and stuff, and it's like water moccasins. I'm telling you. Everybody says I'm full of it. I've seen water moccasins 7-8 feet long. At least they look like it to me. I don't want nothing to do with them. And it's a very poisonous snake. Yeah. You've seen them? Okay. And I've talked to people, and it's amazing to me that they act like that's not a big deal. Oh, we go back there and fish all the time. Well, there could be an alligator back there who sees you fish at him all the time, and those things come right at you, and they're a creature of habit, and they see your habit. Your habit starts to get in their head. He comes down here every day. Every day, this guy comes down here, and I think that's what happens. We forget these are wild animals. They have their place in society just like we do, and very dangerous. I've seen alligators all over the place in Florida, in places walking across the street, and you blow a tire in Florida, you don't take that tire off with your bare hands, because there might be a snake fang or something in there. You're reaching around, to pull that tire off on the side of the road, and there's a snake curled up underneath on the ground. So you always have to be careful of this, I'm really amazed that people forget that. They've lived so long in this world of man's cleansed and purified everything, they forget nature is very dangerous, very dangerous, very dangerous beast. Mm-hmm. Like that. Slowly. About that way. Are those blues almost all gone? I thought so. Yeah. I thought so. You're doing great. So let's see, the second time we went to Florida, like I said, we got sick for a couple days, and it was January, and we're still swimming outside. January, and we're swimming in the pool at the hotel. Girls are loving it. We took just the girls. Took my niece, and it was the first time my niece ever went, and she loved it. She was a little, I think, standoffish, because Disney's a crazy place. I don't think she'd been to tons of parks. Her parents took her to Busch Gardens and Williamsburg, Virginia, and all that. And she'd been to Kennywood up in Pittsburgh, and she'd been to Cedar Point, different water parks, and some other great places. So she's been around. She really knows her stuff. But Disney is like this whole world. It's like a crazy place. And my niece just absolutely, I think she was slightly overwhelmed for about a day, one day. And then you see her open right up, and she handled it. She loved it. And the whole trip, she's like, I'm like, I'm going to spoil you. And she says, oh, no, you're not spoiling me. At the very last day, I was buying some presents for her to take to her family and stuff, and her sister and stuff. And she said, okay, remember I said you couldn't spoil me? She says, you spoiled me now. I'm spoiled now. You did something nice for my family. I'm like, oh, that's all right. That's a good kid. She is. She's a good girl. She wants to be a nurse, I think. And the other one's a nurse, too. I have two nieces. They're both straight A students, wonderful students, and I think they're both studying to be in the medical field. I'm not sure. Or wait, one wants to be criminologist, I think. I think one wants to be a criminologist, which is cool with me. I like that. She can get me out of trouble when I get caught. Yeah, it's a good kid. You like that? Do you like that? Is that nice? Yeah, it is. So, I like that too. It's easy to get those if you just brush away the blues. See, that spot's getting lighter. I put that pen around, so why don't we wipe that pen off? Just use a little cleanser here. We'll get that cleanser on there, and we'll just wipe that spot off there. There. That looks a lot better. Now we've got that. All that off of there looks nice. Yeah. All right. Okay. I got this fan brush. I'm going to use this fan brush to brush the rest of those blues away. There's no blues left. Nope, not a one. I think you look wonderful, because you are a wonderful person. Definitely got to get those blues out. Do you like my silly stories? Well, I'd like to hear what you do for Christmas. I would. Well, Christmas morning, yeah. We have, Christmas Eve is when I'm going to my brother's. And then Christmas Day, I'm hoping both my sons bring their girlfriends. They have serious girlfriends. I'm not allowed to talk about any of that. They deserve their privacy. As a matter of fact, you'd be surprised. Now, my daughter, I want to say access. I don't have access to any of my children's accounts, but on social media, my wife has complete access, just in case, to my daughter's accounts. But I know of all my daughter's accounts, so I can kind of keep an eye on them from the outside. Now, breaking the fourth wall here. On YouTube, I have access and control of her YouTube channel, because we all know how that can be. So if you're messaging her, you're messaging me. So if you plan on bothering her, picking on her, You're actually agitating a very mean, nasty, huge guy who's her daddy. Yeah. So, not that I think any of you would, because all of you are wonderful people. You are. I hardly have problems on here with anybody, and I attribute to the fact that you came here looking for a little bit of help and comfort and peace, quiet. And that's exactly what you found, and you're entertained and you're appreciative of it. And we have an understanding. And that understanding is I'm here to take care of you, and you're here to help me keep going. I keep going because of all of you. No matter how tired I am, no matter how much I struggle, I am here for you. Damn straight. There's nothing between us. No light between us. We're able to help each other. And that support runs both ways. Doesn't always appear that way, but it does. No matter how tired I am, it's always a joy to stop what I'm doing, turn this camera on, and be here for you. It really is. Yeah, we definitely got all the blues gone. I'm feeling very good about it. Are you feeling good about it too? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. And yes, my son, my youngest son, who's Mr. What do you call it? Playboy, is I think finally going to settle down a little bit with a steady girlfriend, and she's somebody he dated in the past. We really like her. My wife and I really like this girl. She's a wonderful young lady, and she's good for him. They're both pretty good with their money, but he's not the best. He's getting better though. He just got a newer car. I helped him get a car. So this is car number 2 or 3 for this guy. I bought each one of my sons. I had to eventually get them each 3 cars. From when they were 16 until they're about 24, and then they're on their own after that. I would still help them if I could, but they don't need my help. And I probably didn't have to help them the last time around, but you want to. I just wanted to. My daughter's gonna kill me. Oh God, I can't even imagine how much money I'm gonna go through with that kid when she gets older. I'll be really missing these Christmases. Those would be little expenditures when we're done with her. Outfitting her with a car in college and everything else. Of course, hope I'm around to see her get married and all that. You never know. But we're about done here. It was so nice to be with you today. It really was. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you rest, knowing we have officially brushed all the blues away. Feeling better? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. You're doing great. And Christmas is gonna come. And that's the thing, Christmas comes once a year, whether you want it to or not. It's gonna come. And it's an exciting time. And I shared some very personal things with all of you because I wanted to. I I told you secrets. I told you personal stories. Because I wanted to bring you inside, out of the cold. Now that we've brushed all those blues away, I wanted to fill up your heart with happiness, comfort, and the fact that you have a friend who wants to share time with you. That's right. With you. And if anybody wants to wish me a Merry Christmas, now would be a good time. We may not see each other again till after that. And I'll be thinking about all of you. I will. I will. I enjoy spending time together. So I'm going to leave you now. And always remember that I am your old friend, Dr. Andrew Michaels. And I wish you a blessed, blessed Christmas day and a Happy New Year.